Budweiser beer is for folks who know. Where there's life, there's Bud.
Now it's for those who think young.
Give wings to your heart, your spirit soar on Northwest Orient Airlines.
You get a lot to like with a Marlboro filter. Flavor, pack or box.
You've just heard 6 of the most successful advertising jingles in America. Sell millions of dollars of products and services. This is Vern Kelley, speaking for the Greyhound Corporation, to introduce you to the newest entry in the Jingle Hit Parade. On both sides of this record, you'll hear how your company developed a simplified slogan, Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us, to be played and sung on our television shows every week. Now, here it is for 1963, the story behind Greyhound's new musical slogan, Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us, destined to become the most memorable selling phrase in America.
This is the story of the evolution and development of the Greyhound musical slogan. Because the term musical slogan will be used extensively in the following narration, let's define it. A musical slogan is a small, compact musical phrase comprising as few as 10 notes. The notes are carefully arranged to exactly paraphrase the words of a selling line or slogan. The result is a combination of words and music, pleasant to the ear, highly memorable, and above all, highly effective in implanting a message or a name in the minds of all who hear it. The purpose of the musical slogan you are about to hear being developed is to implant the Greyhound phrase, Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us, in the minds of millions of current and potential users of Greyhound services. In time, it is expected that the hearing of the music alone will bring the slogan words to mind, even if the words are not used at all. Bear in mind as you listen to the development of the Greyhound musical slogan that it is being designed for use in television and radio commercials, PA systems in Greyhound terminals, and for probable use as a musical horn on Greyhound buses throughout the country, as well as on Greyhound equipment at the 1964 New York World's Fair. So much for the background information. Now, let's introduce our cast of musical characters. First, the piano, the French horn, a trombone, the gentle harp, and a small boy whistling. Now, step number 1, to explore how many interesting note combinations could be plunked out on the piano, remembering that whatever comes out has to be simple, memorable, and keyed to the words, Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Let's explore it. 4 weeks and several hundred note combinations later, a theme evolved that appeared to fulfill the requirements. Simple, memorable, easy to whistle. But how will it sound on a horn? The French horn, for example. Now, let's try a trombone. And now, the harp. All these instruments are very melodic, but upon careful analysis, the trombone seems to be a natural. It's got the quality and tone best suited to our purpose. It's a smooth sound, that could easily and pleasantly become associated with our product, the bus. Now let's hear what we've got. A music theme composed of 10 notes and an instrument, the trombone, to play it. But how does this theme fit with the words of our slogan? Let's put a voice to it and see.
Go Greyhound, and leave the driving to us.
Not bad. A little thin, perhaps. But we've got something. Let's continue with the development. First, we'll arrange the musical portion of the theme to give it more stature, a bigger, more important sound. Instead of just one trombone, we'll use 4. To further enhance the sound, to make it rich and full, we'll add a few rhythm instruments. Let's hear what that sounds like. Very good. But let's remember, we're trying to establish a slogan. Where and how do the slogan words come in? How about singing them? It's worth a try. But we'll use more than one voice to make sure the message comes through in an important way.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
Clear and understandable. But now, let's find out if the voices work with the music. Let's put them together.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound
And leave the driving to us. A good, solid sound. Memorable. Easy to hum and whistle. And the slogan really punches through. Let's hear it again.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound
And leave the driving to us. With the theme and slogan established, it is possible to treat them in other ways for variety and change of pace. For example, here is a change of pace using electronic sound.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound
And leave the driving to us. A new sound, different, arresting, with an impact all its own. It's just one of dozens of avenues explored in the interests of finding variations for future use. But for now, we've got exactly what we've been looking for.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound
And leave the driving to us. The music, the instruments, the voices, the slogan, all wrapped up in a pleasant parcel of power-packed cell. And it's ready to go. Ready to carry the Greyhound slogan into millions of television homes. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us will be heard 3 times on each of 187 news and weather shows a week. It will be heard on the opening and closing portions of every Greyhound television program from coast to coast, like this. Brought to you by Greyhound.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
And leave the driving to us. It will be heard at the end of every Greyhound television commercial, like this.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound
And leave the driving to us. And it will be heard in 10-second radio spots and on Greyhound terminal PA systems, like this.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
Well, there it is, the exciting, new Greyhound musical slogan. An urge to action. Positive. Direct. Highly competitive. A strong suggestion to go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. That's the message soon to be heard and recalled as a constant reminder of the name and service. That is Greyhound.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us. Go Greyhound
And leave the driving to us.